Welcome everyone to It Tastes Different Gaming Appetizers. And what's on the news tonight? Well, overwhelmingly positive Steam game is being called out for paying players for positive reviews. Shinobi Warfare. It's a 2D turn-based RPG multiplayer game. It's being called out by Steam users after discovered by a Reddit user that the developers have allegedly been rewarding players with in-game currency for leaving a positive review. The game currently sits at an overwhelmingly positive review on Steam. Users are speculating that it's due to being rewarded for leaving a positive review. The discovery was made by a Reddit user Galvaradan, I don't know, these people and their online names, who took to Steam subreddit yesterday to reveal their findings. On their post, they had multiple images of questionable practices, with the most notable being on the Shinobi Warfare Discord server, where an admin on the server reportedly offered players 1,000 in-game gems to leave a positive review. The Discord admin allegedly instructed users to download Shinobi Warriors on Steam, which is a free-to-play game, and then write a positive review after playing. An alleged screenshot from the Shinobi Warriors Discord told users that to receive their free gems, they must take a screenshot of their positive review followed by their in-game login. With over 3,000 reviews currently, there might be more out there, many of them are pretty basic, saying like very nostalgic game and 10 out of 10. So not really offering, they're short and sweet positive reviews, not really offering people any information as to why they should be playing this game. So, you already know it's bad, but is it bad for Steam? And does it go against Steam's terms of service? And yes, it does. On the official Steam FAQ for the general rules and guidelines of the platform, it stated that user reviews should not be artificially influenced. The guide gives multiple examples of this, with a relevant one in this scenario being accepting payments or other compensation to leave reviews. So that's pretty bad. The alleged discovery caused quite a stir on Reddit, with many users responding by reporting the game to Steam support. However, some users are pointing out that this isn't the first time Shinobi Warfare has allegedly been up to suspicious tactics. With a whole Facebook group dedicated to its issues. There's basically a Facebook group called Shinobi Warfare is a Big Scam, which consists of scam players and those who've had enough of the devs scamming players. With the devs scamming players. Currently, it's unknown what Steam will actually do about the game. I looked on Steam and the game is still out there. But apparently Shinobi Warrior was created in the wake of Knights Saga's shutdown, a famously popular Facebook game that was heavily inspired by Naruto. However, Galvardan, the Reddit user, says that Shinobi Warfare has way less care for copyright, and often uses sprites and names from Naruto and other famous animes such as One Piece and Yu-Gi-Oh! So it seems like these guys clearly don't really care. They're just trying to, go out there, make money, have a positive review score on Steam. And pretty much it seems like they're just trying to get their game to make as much money as they possibly can before the man comes down and shuts them down for good, right? Until Steam throws the ban hammer at them, and then they'll just shut that down and make something new and it'll pop up, right? That seems to be it seems like, right? I don't know for sure, but it seems to be like, from what we're learning, the MO of this developer. But let's go around and see what everybody thinks about this. Shane, let's go to you, buddy. What do you think of Shinobi Warfare?
You had me at Naruto. All right. Okay. One, it's pretty shitty, pretty scummy way to sell your game, because essentially what they're doing is they're raising their positivity. A positive review is a game more people are more favorable to look at and to purchase. And it's fake. It's not real. It's, they're lying to get reviews up and, to their positivity up to get more sales. So that's pretty scummy. Now, the far as the naming stuff goes, pulling names from Naruto, it's not really hard because most anime names you'll find in many, many other anime. Now, granted, I don't think I've come across any Naruto's in any other anime that I've watched or read. But like Hinata's, Jiraiya, I've seen that one. Even Sasuke is, fairly popular name. Granted, by the ethics of their review process, they're probably just stealing them on purpose because they don't want to work on actually naming their characters. So, it's funny that they're still on Steam. They should have been removed because this is clearly a breach of conduct. This is clearly just thievery. I mean, in my opinion, it's a whole pay to play thing. So it doesn't make no sense how they are still available. Now, are there any reviews that what percentage of reviews are real? What percentage of reviews are pay to play? So that'd be something I would like to know if they could, somehow to average that out. Let me know which ones are true, which ones are, I got 1,000 gems and Hanata's bra for my game review. That's what I want to know. So, what about you, Pat?
It's really hard to do, right? Pull the fake reviews from the real reviews. I mean, just look at Amazon. It's a perfect example. It's really almost impossible to pull those out. I went to Steam just to see what the reviews were on this game because I had not even heard about it until we started talking about the article not too long ago. And I'm like, what? It's some 2D turn-based RPG multiplayer game. It's kind of got like some clan wars or, an arena type game in it. Look to it, I should say. And you can almost look at the aggregate overall reviews score wheel and see exactly when this developer was offering gems because the game's pretty much unheard of for a while. And then it looks like maybe August, like sometime in August, they jumped from having 2 reviews on average, 7. And then all of a sudden there's a spike to 167 positive reviews. And it goes back down to being a little bit 3 or 4 a day. And it goes back up to like another 178. To me, that shows a pretty much something's going on, right? And when you go to the Steam page, you can't even see the reviews because there's a nice little periodic and off-topic review activity detected. So I think Steam has listened and they basically kind of cut off the reviews. You can get rid of that filter and see all the reviews. Now, all the reviews, it looks like the recent reviews are mostly negative because there are people calling them out for their bad tactics and stuff. But I don't know. This looks like a mobile game that somehow ended up on PC because it looks like that. It looks very much like somebody ripped something off from mobile. And the first few screenshots I see the whole Naruto and I'm like, yep, somebody's about to get the 1,000-finger Shinjutsu on him right there, So I don't know. It very much smells like a scam company, and it's free because it's full of microtransactions, right? 1,000 gems is what they're offering you. What does 1,000 gems get you? Probably nothing. And this is the only game listed I can find by that developer. What are they called? Technotal. So it's the only game I can find by them. So to me, it seems very scammy, and it's just another one of those pay to win games. If you get our game for free, the more money you spend, the more gems you get, the more crap you can buy so that you're better in the arena than that other guy who didn't spend any money or who spent less money than you. So if you've ever played any mobile game like that, like Clash of Clans and all this stuff, you can spend, it's warfare game. The more money you spend, the bigger of a whale you are, and the more you're the top dog because you could spend more money than everybody else who plays that game. So to me, I'm already out when I saw that. I'm like, ooh, microtransaction, pay to win. These guys don't care about anything but raking in the money, and I don't know. So it says there's 2,433 total reviews of this game. And I could tell you, looking at this thing here, about I can tell you for sure, probably about 400 of them are fake, at least 400. So you can see the review spikes of like a couple hundred here, a couple 167 there, 178 there, 118 there. Yeah, you can see the spikes. And I'm like, that must have been another gem giveaway. Pew, and then it's like pew, and it immediately drops back down to where the reward time ended. So you can see by the reviews it's something like that. I wish more sites offered a review aggregate like this, because that's kind of a good way to tell if they're feeding the reviews somehow, right? Because you're like, okay, there's like a whole month, there's a spike in a whole month, and you're like, did people get something for free right there to review that? Because to me, there shouldn't be this artificial peak up and peak down of number of daily reviews. Like if your game was under the radar and then it hit the radar, it's going to be high, and it may dip a little bit, but it's going to stay kind of like up there at that level. It's not going to be like freaking major peak and then major drop back down to the previous day's numbers. So yeah, it looks like they run maybe like a week long campaign, or maybe just a couple of day campaign, because you see a spike on July 26th and then August 2nd and then August 9th. And then there's nothing for a while. And then January 17th, another spike. And yeah. And then on March 7th, another spike. So I wish more review sites did that. I kind of like that little bar graph there that says, hey, here's some inconsistencies in reviews. And I'd be like, all right, we need to probably scrub those days and see what the reviews are. And if they're all like that single sentence reviews, like, wonder how those came from. But yeah, I like the review aggregate chart, the overall reviews that that Steam put on here for this game. But yeah, I undid it, and like in the last day, it's almost all negative. I see a few positives on here, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 positives, and then all the rest of them for today are negative. But if they're all negative, they're not justifiably negative, neither, not all of them, because most of them are like awful game. Developers have been caught doing crappy practices, and a lot of them, like dev is offering in-game rewards for positive feedback. To me, that's also not helpful, because that negative review isn't about the game, it's about the developers and whatever. But the review should be about the game and not about the developers. It is what it is. It's a free forum to put whatever you feel. You can put a negative review and put I like peanut butter and jelly on there, and it is what it is. It's like, well, that's a bad review because it didn't talk about the developer or the game. Like, I understand having a bone to pick with the developer, and part of me says that's not a legitimate review, and some of it is, right? Maybe I don't want to do business with I want to know the developer's a bad developer. And then part of me goes, well, but it's not about the game. I want to know how the gameplay loop is. So in my opinion, when I look at reviews for game, good or bad, I want to see a specific complaint or a specific accolade. They're like, hey, this is pretty awesome because it lets you do X, Y, and Z, or this was really bad because this doesn't work, or the only way to get to this is you have to pay this much money. Like there are reviews out there for games that I read that say you have to spend $1,000 just to be able to do this, or to be able to compete with the top 10 players in this game, you have to spend $5,000. And you're like, oh God, who's doing that? Who's spending $10,000 on a game like this? And there are people who do it. So, but to me, in my opinion, these guys pretty much violated the Steam terms of service. And I don't know how Steam's making any money off. I mean, I guess I don't know how they're making money. I don't know a lot of the back end deals on how free games work on Steam, because if they have in-app purchases, Steam probably has to be able to make some money on that, right? They're hosting the game. They're not going to host your game out of the goodness of their heart. So I need to look into how the monetary transactions of that work, because there probably is some type of monetary rev share or something on a free game. But it is what it is. And part of me is just like, Steam just needs to go ahead and outright ban them, kick them off the platform. They'll probably republish under another developer name a week later.
Yeah.
It won't be Shinobi Warfare, to be Naruto Warfare or something.
And what's funny is I didn't catch this at first, and Nick, you know the anime too. The character model in the article that they're showing, is that not Baby from Dragon Ball GT? Near the end of the Baby saga, he looks just like
him. Yeah, the guy.
Yeah,
it looks somewhat similar.
somewhat my ass. If he had a Piccolo hanging from his butthole, that would be Baby from Dragon Ball GT.
I mean, the jacket almost looks the same, right?
Yeah, and
I mean, it's
sort of the
very-
tattoo, sort of like the little
Yeah,
tattoo eyebrow thing,
exactly.
and that. Yeah,
Yeah, it's very
very
similar.
close. I mean, even the shoulder pads and everything look really close.
But that's a Shinobi.
But yeah,
I mean, yeah.
they
I
just need
agree
to
with
start
you,
showing
though,
this to the. They need to show this to the original anime developers and be like, "You guys need to cease and desist and
Right.
get some money. You guys got to get paid."
Yeah, they're giving away stuff for free.
Yeah.
But I agree with you, Shane. Like, you know, or with you, Pat. The you know, review, regardless of what the developer is, like, you know, review should be about the game, whether it's good or bad, and the good and bad about it, right? But in this case, for the developer, you know, I don't know what happened to Ninja Saga, which is apparently their first game, or the game that, and they might have done the same thing with that, right? And then once that got shut down, then Shinobi Warfare came up, and they might be in that. There are developers out there that do that, right? They make a game, it's free to play or whatever. They try to get as many people to come in and buy microtransactions and stuff, and they do scammy things. They cut corners a lot, and you know, they try to survive out there as long as they possibly can. And then once they get banned and taken off the service, and they just come up with some other developer name and a new title for a different game that's almost similar to the last one that came out, right? And then they just ride that train until it's done and over with. So I don't know if that's the same for these guys. I don't really know, but it seems like it. It seems like the MO for one of those types of developers.
Yeah, it's almost like the developer needs a review for the developer themselves. You got a game review and a developer review. Yeah, developer had been known to steal ideals, characters, designs, games, you know, pay people for X, Y, and Z, and then you have the review part. Game sucks ass. You know.
Yeah, I guess I have been kind of swayed. I think the developer reviews kind of belong there. I was against it at first, but now I'm like, how are you going to know if don't do research into them? So yeah, I'm on board with the developer reviews and the game reviews now, because now you can look through there and be like, these guys are ripping off anime to make their game, and yeah, I didn't watch Dragon Ball. What was it, GT or Super? Because wasn't he in Super too?
No,
I thought he was in there.
No, just the first season of GT, if I remember correctly.
Okay, but I mean, when I googled the picture of him, I'm like, oh, that's an exact replica of that character. So I'm like, it looks exactly like him. But I'm like, that's bad. But I would have never known that, right? I never watched that anime, never watched that one, and then and not knowing anything. And if I wanted a little PC version of a phone game, and maybe I would have picked it up and none the wiser and be like, oh, these guys are dirty dealers, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, they're going to get away with this long enough to make a good profit, probably, and that sucks. So,
yep, it is. But so buyer beware. Just, I mean, it's a free to play game, so you can go out and play it if you want to. But just know that, you know, most of the reviews that you read for this particular game, Shinobi Warfare, is probably not going to be conducive to what the game is or how good or not good it is. It's not a game that's up my alley, so I'm not going to, you know, I wouldn't have played it to begin with, but you can't be doing stuff like that. You got to watch out for those types of developers and those types of games out there. Steam has a lot of games on it, and you just got to be wary sometimes of what games you purchase on there, because you might get screwed. And luckily this game is free to play, so you don't have to pay to play it, which is a good thing. If they were, you know, if they were doing scammy things and charging you an entry fee, then that would be even worse. But the fact that it's a free to play game, but who knows, you know, what else they could be doing. I don't know. I mean, right now it's just giving away free stuff for positive reviews, which, you know, like Shane said, that just inflates the game to a more higher, you know, if you look at because you can look at games that are higher in positivity are going to be more closer to the top of the list when you look at like trending games or the top whatever types of games, right? It's going to be higher up because of, I don't know if it's just review score or maybe downloads as well. I don't know how they everything that they do on Steam to put those listings on there, but it's probably several metrics, I would imagine. Still that's going to give you more limelight, and that's what they're wanting, right? More people, more eyes on it, but also artificially influencing people to come play their game. So, you guys got anything else you want to add to this?
Quit stealing shit.
Very good. All right. Well, let us know down in the comments below. What do you think? Have you played Shinobi Warfare? If so, let us know what you think. Is it a good game? Even if you tell me it's the greatest game ever, I still won't play it. But, let us know down in the comments below what you think. Other than that, thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe. Hit the bell notifications to stay up to date with new videos that we do all the time. And we'll see you next time.
See ya.